What's going on, everybody? D-Style here. Thanks to those joining me live and to those that be joining me on the archive. Thanks, and hit the like button, by the way. Um, don't hit the dislike just because you're upset with Fury. All right, I'm just saying, and I'm going to say this right now. And I should have gone live on Twitter as well, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? This is like let me just tell you right now, and I mean this very seriously. I am I've never felt this way, but I feel embarrassed to be a boxing fan today. I am embarrassed, and I hope this message is clear as day. I hope people understand. This is bigger than me, obviously. This is bigger than other channels that don't like me. This is bigger than the YTBC. This is bigger than Usyk fans and Fury fans. This is bigger than Matchroom and Queensbridge. This is bigger than all of that. I am talking about the entire sport of boxing and the consequences, right? This is bigger than Joe Habib eating quote. This is bigger than that. Is what I want to make sure people understand. I am looking at. I'm seeing Usyk fans, make fun of Fury fans, and I'm seeing. I don't think people like. Do you not understand what the fuck just happened? Tyson Fury single-handedly embarrassed the sport of boxing. That's what he did. That is worse than getting knocked out in embarrassing fashion against another boxer. That is worse than talking shit and getting your ass beat. That is worse than anything I've seen. This is terrible in many ways. And I hope people really just understand this. The sport of boxing just got humiliated. And if any MMA fans come on here and trash the sport of boxing, I don't want to see any moderators time them out. I don't want to see anybody do anything to them. They have every right to do it. This is their W. It's our fucking L. That you're just gonna have to fucking take it. Like point blank, this is a terrible day for boxing. It's an embarrassment for the sport. Now, I never agreed with the nonsense that this guy's the greatest heavyweight of all time. However, he is arguably the or one of the best of the era, right? And that just happened. That is embarrassing to the sport. It's embarrassing. This is an absolute. I know a lot of people are laughing. I think it's nervous laughter, quite frankly. I think you guys are coping with it that way. Like, I know what you're doing. I know exactly what it is. I'm just going to say it. This is embarrassing. I sat there watching this fight, and I'm like, you know what? It's an L for Fury regardless. I don't even care if it's close, split. This is an L already. This is worse than if Ngannou would have caught him in the first round and knocked him out. This was an absolute embarrassment to the sport of boxing. Tyson Fury single-handedly embarrassed the history of the sport, the craftsmen that have made this sport, that built the styles of this sport, the trial and error that was done over the centuries to develop the art of this sport, from the jab to the hook to the right hand to the counters and you name it. He absolutely put on a terrible dog shit performance. And I am embarrassed. I'm not a Fury fan. I don't know if you guys know that out there. Anybody watching I don't even like Fury. But this is bigger than Fury. This is bigger. You need to understand. This is bigger than Fury. And look, and we've known for years, by the way, that the heavyweight division was dog shit. We've known that for years. It's just that they started fighting each other and they gave us some competitive fights. But we've been knowing that. We've been knowing the heavyweight division. It's just not like I've been telling people Tyson Fury's a king of a fucking weak ass era. I've been saying that. But even then, there's no excuse. It's still embarrassing. Even if this is the weakest era of all time, it's still embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Even if it is basura HLD, this shouldn't happen. I was watching Tyson Fury out of shape. He's in dog shit shape. Worst shape I've seen him in a while, right? He probably thought he was going to get up from the couch and just beat up this dude. Oh, I'm way better than him. I'm going to pull it off. They scheduled an Usyk fight for the 23rd of December. Oh, it's no problem. We're going to just take care of this dude. Take care of him. We're supposed to say that. We're supposed to say you're going to take care of him. We're supposed to say that. You're supposed to put it to fucking work, bro. Round 5, this dude was tired as fuck, and you couldn't pull the trigger. What the fuck's going on with you? You're out of shape, dude. Embarrassing. And even if Fury rematches him and destroys him, the stench that this has left behind is going to be deafening. The stench that this has left behind is going to be absolutely deafening, is what it's going to be. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It doesn't matter if he didn't take it serious, if he was out of shape, if he had ring rust. It doesn't fucking matter. The stench left behind will follow the sport. Even if you come out and destroy this dude in the rematch, you have left that is your legacy. You've left a fucking stench behind that's going to follow this sport in more ways than people have even realized. I don't think people have even realized what the fuck has happened. You guys are way too worried about your petty ass beefs. Way too worried about that. Way too worried. You're way too consumed with it. The stench will be just deafening. Lennox Lewis tweeted out that this shouldn't happen. The shark can't leave the Shark Tank and go give a lion a run for his money in the fucking jungle. That's not the way it happens. A lion can't jump in the fucking Shark Tank and take the fucking shark to school. What the fuck is going on? So to all the boxers out there, maybe you should work just as hard as Jake Paul does when he fights an MMA dude. I just assume I'm going to beat him because he's the MMA guy and the boxer. So, well, they're still competent in boxing. And they punch hard. The punches still hurt. What the fuck is going on? What an embarrassment. And I understand a lot of people are this nervous energy, this nervous laughter is the reason you're coping with it. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to show that I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, guys. This is embarrassing. Honestly. Embarrassing. I've never been this embarrassed. And we deserve to be embarrassed. All right? We deserve MMA fans to be laughing at us right now. We deserve every second of it. Every single solitary second. We deserve every second of it. All of it. All of it. Tyson Fury goes out there, right? And he shits a big pile of dog shit in the middle of the fucking ring. And embarrasses the sport. Shout out to HLD. I appreciate it, brother. I don't give a F. Give me Ngannou, the real Black Panther versus Wilder versus AJ. Wakanda forever. Bish. Mad respect. Absolutely. I don't think people understand what's going to happen, guys. And I hope you're ready. The likeliness of Saul Canelo Alvarez fighting an MMA champion now has just skyrocketed, right? If it was 0.001% before, I don't know how high, but it's a lot higher than that now. Probably 10% now, maybe 20%, maybe even higher than that. It's just gone up. The likeliness of being challenged by an MMA dude an MMA, and they do that fight, has just skyrocketed. The likeliness of Terrence Crawford or any of these dudes, and if the chances were extremely low before, almost non-existent, overnight, because of this shit show, has completely gone up. So all the boxers that are working their way up, fuck them. You know what we're going to do? We're going to start doing crossover fights now. That's going to skyrocket, guys. And whenever we say, why is he going to fight that MMA guy? We got this contender over here. He has no shot. Oh, look at what he said about Ngannou. You said Ngannou didn't have a shot. And I feel he won that fight. Like, that's what we're dealing with now. Andre Rodriguez in the building. I appreciate it, brother. Let's have a minute of silence in the name of Cristiana. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Hold on, guys. Andre Rodriguez, you scared the shit out of me, brother. Like like I swear to God, bro. Or anyway, like I thought you were talking about a content creator, bro. Like, I mean, I'm just like I'm just saying. But anyway, anyway, so hey, I appreciate the support, brother. There's a content creator called Fistiana. Like so I was like, wait, what? So, but you didn't mean it. It is what it is. But with that said, well, that threw me off for a second. But man, so man, bro, I almost had like I was like, holy shit. But so anyway, Jesus Christ, bro, you freaking gave me a freaking, I swear to God, holy shit. All right. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so I got you. All right. Shit. Yeah, I was like, what? There's a YouTuber called Fisty, and I thought you said she passed away. I was like, wait, what? Like, I was like caught off guard there. But yeah. So look. But this is what Fistiana is, I'm sure she's fine. But shout out to her. But I'm sure she's good. But yeah. Man. Ooh, I was like, whoa. In that moment, I was like, this shit don't even matter in that moment. I was just like, holy shit. But I just want to say this. Tyson Fury needs to rematch Francis, train serious, and fuck him up and destroy him for the sport to move on. Like that's it. Like, and if he does train serious and it's still a close fight, then it is what it is, right? Maybe Francis is just a natural to boxing like that, right? He might be the most natural dude of all time to the sport, right? Possibly. But I will say, right, just to put it in perspective, that and if Fury doesn't do it, somebody else needs to do it. Like, it needs to happen. It's no offensive. It's nothing against Francis, but the record needs to be corrected. Point blank, period. And look, and just because Francis could do it doesn't mean these other MMA guys are going to be able to do it, right? Like, I just want to make sure people understand that. But and the heavyweight boxing, power is a very vital aspect of it, right? But and the other boxing divisions are not as weak as the heavyweight division. But I'm going to go back to my point that and I apologize. I lost my train of thought because Andre Rodriguez scared the shit out of me, bro. Like he had me like freaking. I was like, what? Um, so I swear to God, I swear to God. But I'm still like reeling from that, bro. Jesus Christ. We're gonna have everything's gonna pause now. You know what I mean? Like everything now. Now we're gonna now these contenders are gonna have to wait. We already have an issue where like we can't get Benavidez Canelo right as it is. Now throw UFC dude. O'Malley Tank's gonna fucking happen now. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna have people believing he could win, right? And that's that. And we're gonna have to just deal with it. And we're gonna have to hold our breath until fight night to see what the fuck. Like, you know what I mean? We have to question everything now. This is embarrassing, bro. We might need a series of boxing guys just knocking out MMA dudes. We might need a series of it, like over and over again, to help clear this fucking stench that's been left behind. That pile of dog shit's not going anywhere. I'm telling you, it's not going anywhere. And every time an MMA dude, like they're being humble as fuck right now. The fact that they're not coming on here gloating and like I'm grateful for it, because if they could come on here and talk all the shit they want, and there's nothing we could say about it right now. Like it kind of is what it is. Andre Rodriguez says, let's have a minute to silence in the name of boxing, the fistic game. May that be a minute to reflect. I appreciate it, brother, for sure. Let's have since you gave a super chat, we'll give you that minute of silence. All right, there we go. Pat's Nation, imagine the pay-per-view buys for Usyk versus Francis for Undisputed. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't even want to see the Undisputed fight right now. I just don't. First, if Fury's gonna show up like that against Usyk, then don't even show up. Like you know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing? That version of Fury will get embarrassed by Usyk. But even in saying that, I already know what's going to be said, and there's nothing I could say. No. Francis just made him look that way. What am I going to say? Until Fury clears a record, I could say whatever I want and what I believe. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, guys. And just because of that, we're like now, yeah, and there's going to be money in these crossover fights. There's going to be money for them. And Dana may hate it because Dana doesn't want to see it because he wants to run his UFC show, but like O'Malley's going to fight Tank and who's the dude that wants to fight Canelo? We might see McGregor against Canelo. It might happen, guys. If McGregor is successful in his a comeback fight, we're going to see Canelo versus McGregor. It's going to happen. Like it's going to. I'm telling you, it's going to fucking happen. 100%. It's going to happen, guys. Like there's intrigue to a point. You know how many casuals are saying to themselves now, "Oh shit! If they could give him a run for his money, I want to see these fights." Like I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. Shout out to Duval Grind. How's it going, brother? I'm trying to understand. Can somebody explain to me? And let me just go for. I was scoring the fight. I did score for Fury, but it doesn't matter. Like it shouldn't be that close. Is what I'm trying to tell you guys. The fact that it's that close that's why people are talking the way they're talking. Like I'm just saying. Like I'm with Hyplo. Like I scored it. I'm like, well, like if you just score it per the boxing criteria, but it shouldn't be that. Like the fact that it's that close, like you could just say you should have lost. Like I'm just telling you guys, this is embarrassing. 100% embarrassing. Like I can't. Like I was embarrassed watching that fight. Like I'm like, am I dreaming right now? And I understand that there's going to be MMA dudes that may screen share them. Be like, look at this boxing guy; he's embarrassed. I am embarrassed. All boxing fans should be embarrassed. What do you want to see the Usyk like? It almost feels like it doesn't matter right now. Usyk versus Fury. It's not going to happen. By the way, that fight's not going to happen. Scrap it. We're going to have to wait for undisputed again. Well, I don't want to see it. Like if Fury goes in there and gets in great shape and beats up Usyk, what does that do? It doesn't do anything. Oh shit! Francis put up a better fight than Usyk. It just keeps giving the sport of boxing L's. Is what it does. That's why Fury needs to clear the air. All right. We're going to get some MMA dude out in Australia challenging Tim Tszyu to a boxing match now. Or we're going to get dude challenging Jermell to a fight. Okay, we're going to get some random MMA dude. Just like I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. And a lot of those guys are marketable. So a lot of promoters will make it happen because money talks. So get ready for it. I don't think people understand what's happened. We're going to see Cyborg in a match with one of these. We're going to see her against Katie Tater. So it's going to happen. I'm telling you, and the women's rankings, they're not that deep. So some of these MMA chicks may beat up the women boxers, right? Because we don't even have the best women boxers all the time fighting each other. We have Olympians that can't even get fights. We have domestic fights in England that they're selling as world title fights. That would be easy to do. Look, I don't care if Fury was out of shape. I don't care if he didn't train at all or didn't take it serious, underestimated him. This shouldn't have happened. Point blank, period. End of story. Lennox Lewis would not have allowed this to happen. Muhammad Ali, and I never want to hear anybody, please, never compare this motherfucker to Muhammad Ali ever again. Never do it. It was annoying me before. Don't even do it now. Ngannou wouldn't land a fucking glove on Ali. I don't go box circles around that dude. This is absolutely embarrassing. Embarrassing. Knocked him down. Taunted him when he was in the ground. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Remy, Usyk over Fury, salute style. Let me tell you something. People could say whatever you could say whatever you want about me. But there's one thing I promise you. I love the sport of boxing. I've been watching this shit my whole life. And it is absolutely embarrassing to see what happened. This is crazy. And now you're going to have guys who are going to cut lines because they're naming MMA and they're going to start getting title shots, or they're going to be put in these type of pro that they count, but exhibition fights. They're going to stop momentum. They're going to stifle momentum. They're going to be justified because they'll sell better. And you're just going to have to deal with it now. And the argument of, well, he has no shot to win, so why should I see it? It's you can't make until there's a stretch of fights where the MMA guys getting knocked out and destroyed in crossover boxing matches, right? Until the pro boxers actually do what Jake Paul's doing, right, to the MMA guys, and it happens enough to where, okay, enough, right? Because even Dana had enough. Even Dana was, okay, we've done this experiment too much. I'm done with it, right? Now he might say to himself, well, I mean, O'Malley doesn't have anything to lose against Tankin. What if he does pull it out? What if he wins a couple of rounds? What if it is close? And it just helps our brand. It's not even our sport. And it makes us look good, right? That is what's happening right now. I don't think it's hit people. You guys are too busy gloating at the fact that Tyson Fury didn't look good and you don't like Fury. I don't like Fury either. But sometimes you got to look at the macro of all these things. It's what you need to look at. Oh, I'm not worried about it. I think Usyk will beat him up anyway. So what? It doesn't matter anymore. Like, he'll beat up a guy that struggled against Ngannou. Like, I'm just saying, like it's lost so much luster that it could only be cured if Tyson Fury rights his stupid ass wrong in a rematch. That's it. That's the only way to the stench. And by the way, you will never get rid of it. Tyson Fury can have 5 more fights with Francis, knock Francis out in all 5 fights with ease. It's never going to get rid of the stench from this fight, ever. It's never going to happen, ever. And there's really no way around it. There's no way to wiggle around this, guys. Fury's not old. He's not in his 40s. Okay? He was inactive, but it's pretty normal for guys to go 11, 12 months without fighting nowadays. It's relatively normal. Like, it's not like he wasn't out for 4 or 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear that excuse. He had enough time to prepare and get ready. What is the fuck? There is no excuse. There's no excuse, guys. And I'll tell you right now, like, PFL's got to fork up a lot of money because there's a lot of money for Francis in boxing right now. A lot. Like, PFL's going to have to fork up a lot of money. Point blank, period. And who knows? These crossover fights or boxers have to fight MMA guys may be necessary, guys. If you ever played poker or you ever gambled and you start to lose, you know, you're losing your chips, and in order to get back, you're going to have to get all the chips in. Maybe that's what boxing needs to do to clear this fucking stench. Maybe we need to see Canelo knock out an MMA guy and fuck him up in a couple rounds to prove a point. Maybe we need to see, you know, Better Be do the same shit, or like, you know, Crawford do it, and Tim Tszyu. Like, maybe it's just gonna be like the year of the crossovers. You know what I mean? Where boxing's fighting for its survival and honor. Like that's what it is. When there's a crossover fight like this, I understand that it's your sport. I understand you have the advantage. I understand all that, but you have to take it serious. You have to. Let the fans be overconfident. You should be overconfident. That's just like point blank. Point blank. Now, a lot of these other heavyweights, they're not going to take Francis lightly now, so it's a different ball game for him. It's a different ball game. They're going to take him very serious, which is going to mean a tougher fights for Francis, right? But the reality is what the reality is. Point blank. We're going to see more crossover fights now. We're going to see, whether you like it or it doesn't matter if we like it. We're going to see more of them. Overnight, they become more, they were already like marketable, but they're going to become more marketable. There's going to be more intrigue. There's a blueprint for it now, and they're going to follow it. Point blank. Now, a lot of these MMA guys don't have the power of a Francis Ngannou or even a McGregor, so good luck to them, right? But this is bad. Like, I don't think it's hit people yet. Like, I'm looking at Twitter. Like, I don't think it's hit. I don't think it's hit a lot of you guys yet, man. I don't. Okay. This is absolutely embarrassing. I can't even enjoy the Foster fight tonight because Rocky Hernandez. Like, I don't know. Maybe when the fight happens, I'll change my mind. But like, I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be a rematch more than likely. We're not gonna get the undisputed fight. I don't even want to see it next. Fury needs to clear the air. They're gonna rate Francis this time. They're gonna make him top 15, probably top 10. They're gonna put the WBC title on the line. It's gonna be a 12-round fight. Point blank. That's what's gonna happen. And Tyson Fury is gonna have to go back out there and fight this dude. I mean, It is what it is. And I'm telling you right now, if he was going to come in like this against, Zhang would have knocked him out, bro. He looked horrible, bro. Like, I'm just saying, the stamina was shit. Like, he just looked like dog shit. Point blank. It was a bad look for Fury in boxing, says Remy. 100%. I agree with that. Who's sick over Fury? Salute style. Shout out to you, Remy. Unbelievable. Embarrassing. Most embarrassing day in the history of boxing. You have boxing greats rolling over in their fucking grave right now. That's what's happening. Embarrassing all those boxing greats that they pay to go over to Saudi Arabia to watch his dog shit performance. Embarrassing. Imagine what Lennox Lewis was thinking watching that shit. Absolute dog shit. Dog shit. That's what it was. Dog shit. Point blank, period. So we're going to see the fucking rematch. We're going to go through the circus again. And now we can't even call it a circus. And they're going to do the rematch. It is what it is. And it has to happen. It needs to happen. Point blank. And like I said, we're probably going to need a fucking series of these fights. And the boxer's got to come out on top. Because nothing in this life is entitled nothing. And these boxers are going to do these crossover fights. And you better train like you do for all your other fights. You better get ready for a fight. Train like it's going to be a real fight. That way you get the best results. You don't get this dog shit. This dog shit of a performance. Unbelievable. This has to be. If this is the 4-round fight, like Fury would have lost. The knockdown. I'm just saying. There was points in the fight where I'm like, why is she throwing? Like the jab was landing. It wasn't like he didn't have the stamina for it. It was just bizarre in many ways, right? And maybe it was just the how surprising it was, perhaps. But this was absolutely what a black eye for boxing. Embarrassing. Shout out to MAW5 for the live. Zhang will get same reaction for Fury that Francis got, in my honest opinion. Subscribe, share, and smash that like button. Absolutely. I appreciate the support as always, guys. You guys know I do. Man, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is crazy. It's embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. It was bad, Tony. Bad. And it's one of those that you have to watch and score yourself so you can determine who won. Because people are split on it. Pugilism says that this is what UFC fans saw in McGregor. It just goes to show these are love fights amongst fighters who fight for a living. Fury thought he could coast. That's all it was. I understand that. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than this, AP. Nothing. This is worse. This is terrible. Absolute dog shit. Like, how does an old, washed up Ray Mercer have an MMA guy have the audacity of trying to boxing him in an octagon? He knocks him the fuck out, right? How does a YouTuber like Jake Paul beat a striker like Anderson Silva? How does... Can somebody just explain to me? But Tyson Fury can't beat this dude. Oh, but it doesn't matter if Francis is better. It doesn't matter. Because Tyson Fury is not old and washed up like Ray Mercer. I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, the rematch has to happen. Fury needs to clear the air and do what he needs to do. That's what Fury has to do at the end of the day. Point blank, period. End of story, end of discussion. I don't even want to see the undisputed fight now. Oh, what do you mean, D-Style? You don't want to see the undisputed fight? What do you mean? Why not? He needs to clear the air. He needs to clear the air. Yeah, but Kimbo didn't box him, boxing historian. And Kimbo was a fist fighter. He wasn't a MMA fighter. Kimbo wouldn't box Ray Mercer. That's why he took him down. What I'm saying, Tim Silva tried to stand with him. The point, boxing historian, the point. Don't let it go over your head. The point. You know what I mean? And my point still stands. He was old and washed up. Fury's not. We need to make sure we understand this, guys. That this was absolutely embarrassing. So Theo's already considering jumping ship. You know how many casuals right now are saying to themselves, I mean, why watch boxing? I should just go to MMA. Like it's. I'm telling you right now that this has been damaging. Thomas Santos, I appreciate the support. Tyson Fury almost loses to KSI. Tyson Fury almost loses to Ngannou. What is going on with the Furies? And this is more embarrassing than Tommy against KSI. I understand, Tim, but he wasn't more washed up than, bro. I don't need to tell you this, Brian. You know how washed up Ray Mercer was. I don't need to. I'm not going to go through this. He was very washed up. I get that. This was absolutely astonishing to watch. Doesn't take away from what Francis did. Doesn't mean I'm not happy for Francis Ngannou. It doesn't mean that it's nothing against Francis, right? So I want to make sure I make that clear. This is totally this is very embarrassing. And he needs to clear the air. Point blank. Point blank. And now if an MMA guy has a name and he has a following and he has millions of people following him on Instagram and he says, I want to fight a boxer for a world title. If the chances of that happening were 1% before this fight, those chances, like I said, I don't know where they are, but they're a lot higher than that now. They're a lot higher. Point blank. And we're going to have to just deal with it. It's going to stall the hierarchy system. It's going to stall the ranking system and all that. The sport of boxing needs to get its shit together, ladies and gentlemen. These boxers need to start getting more active. Steel sharpens steel. I've been saying for years that what I'm seeing in the ring does not compare to what I saw in the 80s. If you look at those fights, the fighters were just better back then. I've been saying that for so if the quality of the boxer keeps dropping, the chances of an MMA dude beating a boxer is at some point for a world title is only increasing. Or a kickboxer or a Muay Thai guy, right? The quality of the fighters, the activity of the fighters, the all that needs to get better. All of it. When I hear legends, I saw plenty of them. After the Fury Wilder fight, say, oh man, like it was a good fight, but the technique, like they know what they're saying, bro. Like you gotta, like I'm telling you, it's not nostalgia. It's not like it's just the truth. We can't be living in a lie. We're not improving the prize fighters, and they're fighting less often. They're only fighting once a year, right? We're not making them better. We're not making better fighters. We are not, right? So it's like so boxing needs to look at itself in the mirror here and say, what do we need to do to get better here? If that means you have to have maybe boxing guys got to start sparring non-boxing guys more often, right? Maybe you'll pick up new techniques that boxers aren't really using right now because it's become so formulaic, right? Boxers they're not doing new things anymore. Like if you follow boxing throughout the century, like you saw it evolve, you saw techniques evolve and get better. We haven't seen that in a long time. I'm going to read this one last one here. Brian, I appreciate boxing historian, and got to prove that it doesn't matter. Striking art, if your power is power, man. Power is power. You're born with power. You don't learn power. That's 100%. And anybody will tell you that. Plenty of boxers have always said, like they'll ask you, like, who's the hardest puncher you fought? Like they'll point at a dude that no one's heard of. Like, oh, my fourth fight, this one guy hit me so hard, and you know what I mean. So it is what it is. But we all got to move on. We all got to move forward. I am highly disappointed today. Point blank. Point blank. PFL better fork out a lot of money because there's a lot of money for Francis in boxing. And if UFC ever wants Francis back, they're going to have to fork out a lot of money too. That's just a reality. You know what I mean? That's that. A lot of people are feeling this way. A lot of people, right? So, like, I remember, like, when Muay Thai fighters are challenged by like kickboxers or MMA fighters in their discipline, right? I've watched these fights and I hear the commentators say things like, he's fighting for the honor of his sport, right? So they come in shape and they take care of business, right? Like that's just the way it is. You become a disgrace of your disgrace if you do this. That was embarrassing what I saw. And there's no excuse, right? Karma Serene, I appreciate it. Good night, D-Style. Thank you for the live. Absolutely. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys' support. You guys could go down the list. I never asked for anything, so I always appreciate the support you guys give. I give you the same energy, and I have done it for years, whether you support me with super chats or you don't. You guys know that. I'm not one of those channels that scolds people if I don't get support. I still come on here and I do my thing regardless, right? I come on here and I spit fire regardless, right? And it is what it is. And even though, like there's 55 of you, 40 have hit the like. It is what it is. You don't have to, you don't want to, but it's much appreciated if you hit the like button. You don't have to tell anybody you did it. You know what I mean? You can just hit it. I'm just saying. All right. But I appreciate the support, guys. Kayla Gomez has a big tournament early December, and this is going to go to help her, for her, or for the traveling expenses and to go chase her dream and all that good stuff. So it's much appreciated. And of course, I sponsor Christina Cruz. If you follow her on Instagram, she always hashtags HCP. And I appreciate her for it. I'm working on an article for her for Women's Fight News, and I help her out as well. So this goes to that, and I appreciate you guys because you guys make that happen. All right. So Much appreciated. AP, the great D style. It's not the end of the world, champ. I never said it was the end of the world. I'm just saying the sport of boxing needs to get its shit together, is what I'm saying. All right? Steel sharpens steel. Start fighting each other. Start fighting the best. Start getting better at your craft. Stop the long layoffs and become the very best you can be. Right? And if one day you can't make it, or you can't, whatever the case is, if the day comes that an MMA fighter beats a boxer in the ring, like one of the, like, or whatever, then at least come in shape and decent shape, and you know what I mean, at the very least, is what I'm saying. So I think it's I don't think any of these dudes, I don't think Canelo sweats any of these MMA guys in a boxing match. But the reality is now they have an argument, and now we may have to see it. Like it is what it is, right? It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, guys, I appreciate all of you once again. MAW, I appreciate you guys and all that good stuff. With that said, this is D Style Boxing. Keep it boxing. All right. I'm out. Peace.